Well, I was going to bring up New Brunswick because recently it was announced that even though they put an RFP on the table to privatize, New Brunswick has stayed with and my good friend Lara Wood, who is GM of Cannabis NB, they've turned that business around and it's now making them money and looks like they're going to stay with the public
Yeah.
sector model, right?
Yeah, they are, and I think they just needed to be a little bit
Mm,
patient, because I mean, cannabis has been legalized, was legalized in Canada for about 3 years now.
almost, yeah.
So I think I thought that that the New Brunswick government was a little impatient when they actually decided to sell. I think they got I believe they got 7 proposals, and I suspect that all of the proposals were not very interesting. I believe one of them actually came from Couche-Tard, but all of them were unsuccessful, and the New Brunswick government decided to keep it, which is, I think, a good thing. And because I mean, first of all, the government needs the revenue. They
Yeah.
really need the revenue. So I don't think it was a bad idea to keep it.
Well, I like your idea about patience because the foundation of the business was strong, and everywhere it had to settle out. Like you couldn't get the right supply, the demand. Now there's an overabundance of supply. There's more SKUs. I talked to a lot of cannabis retailers who are more and more happy with the choices they can actually make now versus buying the same stuff that everybody else bought. So we wish our friends
Yeah.
at Cannabis New Brunswick continued success.
When you look at all the stocks in the last 12 months, how they
Yeah.
perform, I mean, in the top 20, you basically have 3 cannabis companies
Yeah.
right there. And they've done very well. Why? Because, well, uh, the market is being recalibrated. There was too much supply. Now, of course, because there was a bit of a cannabis bubble, I mean, markets tend to be very powerful. They correct themselves. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what happened just before COVID, and COVID kind of allowed the demand side to actually pick up. And we're actually going to be conducting a new study on cannabis in the spring, and we're going to be looking at how people have responded to COVID, and if their cannabis consumption have gone up, and if they're actually making more edibles at home, because we all know, and we've talked about this before, the edible market is a bit of a challenge for the processing industry.
Well, I'll be keen to read the study because the difference between increased consumption in the legal market versus overall, right? So we see more legal consumption, but is that truly just moving it from the black market to legal consumption? So is net consumption up, down, or sideways? So that'd be a great report. I look forward to reading that. When about would you
Yeah.
have the results from that?
Oh, probably I'd say in May or June. We're going through ethics right now, so we should get the results back soon. And once we have approval, we'll get out
All
there.
right.